What is up, everybody? My name is Dane Thompson, and welcome back to another episode of Burn Down. So in today's episode, we're going to wrap up where we left off on the Twinnebago real quick, and that is with boost control. So if you watch the other one, you watched me plumb it all up, all fancy with the aluminum line. That was twofold. Mainly, one, because I wanted to do it, and then two, I really don't want to have to dress it again. Hopefully it's just like a one and done, and then if I take things apart or put it back together for any reason, it should just kind of seal up. I'm not going to have the rubber hoses flopping around, things like that. So I just like the way it looks, mainly. Let's just be honest with it. So now what I need to do, because I have essentially a MAC valve in there, there's two wires that need to be hooked up. One goes to a 12 volt constant. The other one goes to an output from the computer, so the computer can tell that thing what to do. And then the third wire we need to hook up is we need a reference so that thing actually knows why it needs to let go or turn on for the boost. So that would be dome control, but we're not going to run that. We are going to run map-based boost control on here through the Holley Terminator X. So let me get on a little bit of wiring, and then I'll try to break it down on the computer for you guys real quick. Other people have done all this, so I really don't want to make a comprehensive video, but we'll give you the gist of it. And then the main thing is we'll have to try it out. So let's get some wire, jump in there, run some wires, and get cracking. All right, here's a recap on the hard lines. We go to all this fun stuff, and then up to this dude. It's probably hard to see because of the sun. And then inside, we still got a mess. I haven't cleaned anything. Still working on driving around. This is what we're shooting for today. Is I just wrapped this and zip tied it. These are all my IOs for the computer. So we'll pick which ones we want to use, and then we will run them. And then the interesting thing is I'm gonna have to take one of these and actually splice it back into the main harness. So that one will be, it's all in the same connector. So we'll have to figure out where on the harness I want to do that. That one will be tricky. So we'll do the easy one first, which is gonna be the boost in. And then since the dude's up there, I can probably run the wires back. It's up under there. I can run the wires back up under here somehow, and I don't know, I don't want to put them by the exhaust, so maybe we'll just take them up and over and through this whole bundle of joy we got going on over there. So let me unbutton these, figure out which one we want to run in, and then I will got some wire here. I'll look for some other stuff. Maybe coordinate the color that's going in there, or maybe white's good enough. I don't know if this will be long enough, but that's it. So simple wiring. Not gonna show you guys the wiring, I'll just show you how it ends up, how I route it and all that fun stuff, and then we will show you some of the computer stuff. And then on the harness portion, I'll just recap once it's done, because I think wiring is so boring and I wouldn't watch wiring. So after this, we'll just cut to when it's all finished up, then we'll get in the computer and I'll let you know how I configured it to make it work for this guy. All right, I'll show you guys this part of the wiring, so it's not quite voodoo, but I've already got a couple blue wires run over there. I just got to connect it. So one of the blue one goes over here to a constant 12 volt key. The other one goes to the output on the computer, which I already have wrapped up here. And then this wire, this black and white, should go to my dome pressure sensor. And instead I pulled the signal from the map. So this is the map plug. So I'm gonna tee it in here, we'll wrap this all up, put it back in the loom, and then it should see my map signal, and that'll control boost. Alright, so the wiring portion is done. Black and white wire we got integrated to the map. Those dudes are in there tucked away. And then we should be good. I wired this guy up, stuck the wires, put them through there, and then now I got to go through and tighten all these. None of these are tight, so let me tighten all of my lines, and then we can get on to the computer portion of it. And I gotta get some fuel for it. We'll fire it up and then see if it makes a boost. We can put it at like a low boost rate and see if it'll just hold it, which would be cool, and then we'll go from there. But I think on gate so far it's made like 5 pounds, but with all the holes being plugged up, it should be able to make like a 5 and then hold it, is what I'm looking to do. So let me tighten it up, and we'll bring you back when we're ready to hopefully roll around the block. All right, here's a quick side note for those of you that don't live in California, I have these awesome cans that are just terrible. There's a spout, and then you're supposed to put it in there. You notice there's no vent, and then you push on it, and it's supposed to drain, and they're just horrible. So I usually use a little check ball valve thing to siphon out of here. Well, this has fuel in it. It's not enough to get the check ball valve thing to actually function. I was trying to use the cap, and I just give up because I'm getting so pissed off. And then I have this cap on my truck. It's not a normal cap, so the whole thing is just a conundrum. I've been over here for like 10 minutes trying to just dump like 1 gallon of fuel or whatever's in here. And this has been sitting, it's not 91, so I don't want to put it in the Bago. So we'll just do another 5 gallons, which will give me enough to at least kind of cruise around the block. But I'm having kind of fuel slosh because there's barely any fuel in the Bago. So we'll just put that in. We can make a quick run. That should be good enough for today. I was trying to get more fuel so we could screw with it a bit more, but the day's winding down anyway. So we will just take this one. It functions. This is my E85 can, so 8591. And then this one, I'd light it on fire really if I could, but we won't do that. We will refrain. Let's go to the gas station. We'll get some fuel, and then we'll come back and have some fun, hopefully. Okay, so we changed it up. We're gonna try again, and then I put a little boost monitor gauge on this to see if we're making any PSI or not. So let's see how we go, boys. Got some kids on bicycles. Probably not a good idea to smash on it. All right. That made like 2 pounds. So it's making boost. I've got boost cut set at like 8 PSI, so we should be safe. So I don't have a lot of ignition in it, so we'll give her some juice this time and see what she does. That old lady gave me a dirty look. She's kind of like, that crackhead in his Twinnebago. Kind of riff-raff moving into Norco. Alright. Get her back down in the first gear. Give her a little bit of the juice. Here we go. Not too bad. 42 miles an hour. Like 4 pounds of boost. I should probably catalog that. Alright, we're downlogging now. Oh, they're falling off again. Here we go. Amateur hour. Amateur hour power. Make a U-turn, because that's a nice long straight. There's not a lot of stop. Let me U-turn this biatch, get her rolling. Illegal U-turns? How am I doing? How's my driving? I need a how's my driving statistic. Alright. Let's give her a little juice, boys. Had a little pop and sputter. We got some disappointed neighbors right there. They were like hands on the hips. Who's this crackhead in his Winnebago? I'll have to see what that hookup was from. Woo! That feels a lot better when it gets some PSI in it. And it's still pretty minimal, so I'm feeling kind of better about it. Besides the popping and whatever that is. Hopefully it's just fuel. but we'll see if it hit boost cut. Pretty cool. That's pretty sweet. Alright, let's go home before we get in trouble. Well, let's see. Monitor, multi-gauge, vitals. So, IAC's a little high. Battery volts are great. It's doing what it's supposed to be doing. That fan should kick on here pretty quick. But, yeah. Look at that. Right on time, right on cue. We'll let it cool down. Anyway. Functioning, we really just need to line the tune out. I'm probably gonna have to bug my tuner at some point to kind of go around the block and take a ride, but I think now we can put a lot of fuel in it, really button all lines down, and then get some data logging done. Ultimately, I need round tires, and then registration will be sweet, and we could really just drive the piss out of it and dial it in. So, baby steps. I got a bunch more cosmetics and things to do. We gotta get the wife behind the wheel here at some point. I asked her today, and she declined my invitation, so we'll get her when she's feeling good. We'll go around the block with her. But that is it. This thing's starting to come along, and it's starting to come alive. If you guys like this, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, share, tell your friends, tell everybody. Till next time, I'm out.